In the run-up to the inauguration, Biden had promised that on his first day, he was gonna do a whole mess of stuff. And he did a whole mess of stuff, actually. We had a memo from Ron Klain, the White House chief of staff, saying that Biden's plans to tackle 4 overlapping and compounding crises: COVID-19, the economy, global warming, and racial justice. And we have actions on quite a few of these, actually. So we're gonna start off with climate change because it's my show and I get to. So among the most immediate steps, one of the first things he did was rejoining the Paris climate agreement, which he had said that he was going to do. By re-entering the agreement, Biden is recommitting the US to drastically reducing emissions in order to limit average global temperature rise to below 2 degrees Celsius. So that's good, I think. JR, getting back in the Paris Climate Accords, he said he'd do it. He can do it immediately. There was no excuse not to.
Yeah, so I think that, as far as this litany of lib policies that he pushed through on the first day, it's okay to start with that one. I think it's okay to start with the Paris Climate Accord, and I'm sure we'll have some fallout from that, but I'm on board so far.
We do have some fallout from some people who have objections to being in the Paris Climate Accord that are founded in intellectual honesty, coming from Ted Cruz, who says, by rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement, President Biden indicates he's more interested in the views of the citizens of Paris than in the jobs of the citizens of Pittsburgh. This agreement will do little to affect the climate and will harm the livelihoods of Americans. Well, if it's gonna do little, then how much harm could it do? But anyway, so the Paris Climate Accord means he cares more about the people of Paris than of America. Or specifically, he said Pittsburgh, which I think is funny, because Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania and Ted Cruz just tried to overturn the results of the election in Pennsylvania. So if that's caring about them, maybe some not caring is a nice way to mix it up.
Yeah, okay, so this is a play on words and trying to appeal to real Americans who care about Pittsburgh and don't care about Paris, that lib city, when they know nothing about Paris. So now it's going back to the empty talking points that just hit some trigger words. Pittsburgh, not Paris. Oh, it's alliteration too, Ted. So again, this is a big illustration of exactly what they think of their supporters. He thinks this is gonna work. That people don't have to know anything about the Paris Climate Accord, have known nothing about the fact once Trump left it, what that meant, or what it means for us to get back in it. It just means Pittsburgh versus Paris, America versus France. Oh, French fries versus chips. These guys are the worst. This is what we're back to debating about. Nothing with any facts, nothing with any basis of anything. But this guy is gonna bring up Paris versus Pittsburgh like it's a football game with the Browns versus the Steelers or something. It's insane, but here we are again.
And it's nonsense, and it's not even good. This is like a Marco Rubio tweet where it's like, no, you fundamentally don't get this, do you? But you know who does get it? Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, like, in the same way that Greta Thunberg is always ready to snipe Trump, I feel like AOC is keeping an eye on Ted Cruz. So she responded to that tweet saying, nice tweet, Senator Cruz. Quick question, do you also believe the Geneva Convention was about the views of the citizens of Geneva? Asking for everyone who believes US senators should be competent and not undermine our elections to incite insurrection against the United States. That's just boom, boom. Hitting him on multiple things. It's like, oh, you're dumb, and also you're anti-democratic. The joke is a little bit on us because he's still a senator and is likely to remain one, but it's good having people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez there. God, I wish she was also a senator. Like, I wish he could like give his stupid speeches on the House floor with his Dr. Seuss books, and then she could immediately go and speak directly after. How good is that gonna feel when she takes out Chuck Schumer?
Oh man, John, you're talking big futures here. That she's openly denied, John. She's openly denied these situations that you're saying is going to happen with Schumer.
I know.
But to her tweet, I do enjoy it because it seems like maybe there's someone who's like a Cruz monitor, and then they text AOC and go, "Hey, check out what Cruz just said," and then she has a chance to respond. Someone's one job.
Google alert. I think she has a Google alert there.
Yeah.
I also saw we have a Twitch comment from Map with Stormy Dragon who says, "Oh, Greta sniped back at Cruz too." Who do you think I am? You think I don't have that? So Greta Thunberg then tweeted, "So happy that USA has finally rejoined the Pittsburgh Agreement. Welcome back." Oh God,
man, Greta Thunberg is on these things like, as if it's her job. But again, I wonder how closely she's monitoring the ridiculousness, and if it's someone is letting her know. Because again, she's 17 now, 16, 17, I can't remember.
Something like that, probably.
And imagine myself at 16, 17 years old. I had no interest in doing any of this. The type of things that she's following and doing. So again, she's staying true to what she's looking to do. It's about the Paris Climate Accord. He's trying to demonize folks on and throw some scare tactics because Paris is a scary place. So I like that, again, the people who've been fighting for these actual events and things that we need to actually do to change, stick with it. Because the frustrating part is a lot of times we kind of forget and move on. Yeah. Greta Thunberg was this big deal and then we just stopped talking about her and what she's doing and saying. I'm glad we're not.
Yeah, totally. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.